Yeah.
Even there's more to life than dance? Wow.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Cale Gimlet from Chaos Conditioning. As you can tell here, we have a special guest. This is none other than Tara-Jean Popowich. She's a professional dancer, born and raised in Lethbridge, but now dances out of New York City and LA. And she is on a couple-week hiatus here from dancing. So she's in town visiting some family and has graciously offered to come and train here at Chaos Conditioning, amongst some other places. And beyond that, she has also offered to sit down and answer some of our questions here that I have for her, and then get put through a strenuous workout afterwards. So everyone's gonna get to see her sweat later on here. So first off, we're gonna get you to run through some of your career achievements and maybe some things that you're proud of achieving.
Yeah, cool. Again, thank you so much for having me. I absolutely love your passion. One of my favorite gyms in Lethbridge. So what I'm most known for is So You Think You Can Dance Canada. I actually auditioned season 1 and I got cut. And they're like, nope, you're not ready. So I was like, okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, of course.
So then I went back season 2 and then was really lucky. I mean, the schedule was insane. I actually dropped down to 98 pounds, so it was like half my size now. Even though I was eating spoons of Nutella, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Season 2 I ended up winning, which I'm very thankful for. Kind of got my career going. And then I've done TV shows all around the world, Dance with the Stars, Asia's Got Talent, a bunch of different TV things. Dancing with the Stars in India was also one of my favorite experiences. I got top 6, and then I got cut, but that's part of it.
Yeah, of course. And it's funny because she's so used to being in front of a camera, but usually dancing, so it's a little bit difficult
like
standing
talking.
and actually talking to us. But yeah, I appreciate you being here as well. And I mean, I think a lot of times when people think about, careers in any sport or any, I guess, discipline, it obviously requires a lot of passion, especially when you're thinking about, things like tackling body image issues, as well as just maintaining passion for something that you have to do, hours in, hours out throughout the week and throughout your whole career, basically. And you mentioned, trying to maintain that balance of being a healthy weight, as well as, being, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? An adept dancer at the same time. I'm sure there's a little bit of a trade-off there with, certain body type and being a better dancer. So I know that's pretty tough. So yeah, we just wanted to run through maybe some questions about how you've maintained your passion. So first off, we just went through your accolades here. Is there any future aspirations that you have in terms of dance, or maybe taking that further into teaching or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just finished with Shania Twain. We have a video coming out. We have another one coming up in New York. So I like doing that stuff too, and because she's Canadian.
Yeah.
But I think what's important to me is the next generation. Like, I want to teach, I want to help them. So I am launching a convention called Human First, Dancer Second. And it's just about making sure that as a dancer, you're not focused on just dance, that you know who you are as a person and a human being also.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And I think that meshes very well with even our ideology here, where, sanity over vanity. A lot of times there is kind of an unrealistic body image or approach to training, and it ends up being very much, you got to look a certain way. You instantly have validity if you have, six pack, or you take pictures and stuff like that on Instagram, and people follow you, through that kind of realm. But I mean, there's so much more to it, right? Moving your body mindfully, I think, is a huge thing, and I know you definitely would like to touch on stuff like that as well. So that excites me, and I think that's why maybe we mesh very well ideologically. So that's exactly one thing that excited me when you came in. But yeah, and I mean, in terms of that, I know you dance countless hours every week. Now, what does your training schedule look like? Like, how do you do? Is it just dancing to train, or do you do separate things to prepare you for dancing?
Yeah, I do separate things. I love cross training. I love kickboxing. I love jiu-jitsu. I love this kind of training where you're throwing your body around, but it's also coordination. It's strengthening your legs for dance. And I used to, of course, do like all these crazy diets as a dancer because you want to look fit.
Yeah.
But then you realize that it's like, okay, I'm doing all these diets, but am I happy? No. So my only goal is to feel strong.
Yeah.
So I don't set weight goals. I don't do any of that. It's just strength.
No, and that definitely makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, I mean, if you have objectives on things you want to achieve, whether it's the next next stage in dancing or the next level of difficulty in the exercise. I think that that's more maintainable long term than probably, you know, burning out really quick trying to achieve a certain look, right? So I think the large key of it is definitely longevity. So with that being said, how do you maintain that life work balance?
I think the secret for me is having friends that are non-dancers and talking about other things in life that kind of make you a more well-rounded person instead of I'm just a dancer and that's all I do. So it's like hearing things about like UFC fighting and MMA training and all these other things. I think it opens my perspective to be like, well, I want to try everything, even if I'm crappy.
Even there's more to life than dance. Wow. Yeah, I think that that's a huge thing as well. I mean, even anyone who chooses to have athletics or working out as be a large basis of their life, everyone thinks that that revolves around them. People alter their eating around you, and this is like, honestly, I think even for you as a professional dancer, I mean you want to have fun too. When you relax, right? So that makes a lot of sense to me. So I guess to tie it back to what we do here at Chaos Conditioning, we implement a lot of cross training for, you know, multiple disciplines, different sports, and just real life. But otherwise, from your experience, does cross training benefit an athlete or a dancer? Or?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. People say dancers, you shouldn't run, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't lift heavy weights. But for me, I fell in love with it also. And so it's kind of like any relationship, even with humans. It's like if I gave you so much all the time, you'd probably want to strangle me. It's like friendship. You can't put everything into one thing. So it's actually made my dancing better.
Awesome.
Mental focus is different. My strength is different. I feel more powerful, even if it's like I look like the same dancer, but I feel stronger. Yeah,
and that's exactly it, I think. I think that's one of the best parts about fitness, and I think pursuing just a physical activity or a physically active lifestyle is that I don't think there's ever a point where you've mastered something. I mean, you've mastered, you know, dancing and the art of moving your body in space, but I think that there's, you know, the other aspects, whether it's the strength, it's accounting for different forces and stuff that might, you know, eventually come down to injuring yourself because you're not accounting for them. So I think cross training is huge across all platforms, regardless of maybe, again, the body type that's associated with dancers, you know, people's fear of looking too bulky or losing their ability to move. And I think that as long as you're, you know, incorporating that in a healthy amount in addition to dancing, I think that that's a huge proponent in building and maintaining that career. Because I know in dance, I'm sure the career span is not huge.
No.
So between injuries and, you know, just burnout. So again, that's really awesome that you've been able to, you know, find maybe another passion that kind of in essence fuels your dancing. So that's pretty cool. And I think our last question here before we get into the hard part is, do you have any advice for any other dancers or anybody who wants to maybe make physical activity or a sport their career?
Yeah, I think for me, what I had to learn is that nothing is quick. And now we live in a generation where you want to do one post and think, am I famous yet? Am I famous yet? So I think the patience of that, because everything happens for a reason and your timing will come. And I do believe that if you work your butt off, it will happen, 100%. But when you think you're working hard, you work 10 times harder, and then even 10 times harder after that, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
But be persistent.
Yeah, and you just gotta, I guess, realize that there are other people in the same shoes, so making yourself unique. And I think work ethic is a huge thing as well, because you know everyone out there there's other people working just as hard, so you gotta make sure that no one outworks you. And I think that that's a huge thing, and I can just tell based on, you know, the stuff I followed and researched about you coming in here, is that's a big thing with you, is you're continually being body positive, just positive in general, and realizing that, you know, dance is great. It's a great way to express yourself, but at the same time, you still have to have fun, or else I think that it comes across in real life, and then even in your dancing or your career.
Definitely. Yeah. And you got to try things you're not good at.
Yeah.
Like when I first did your exercises, I was like, Kale, you're mad. This is crazy. Yeah. But then it also humbles you and makes you work harder. Yeah. So do things that you suck at.
Hey, there you
Huge
go.
Advice.
And all you guys will see is her gracefully running through these exercises. And so the next part, we're going to be running her through one of our notoriously difficult complexes. It's going to be a dumbbell complex, and it's basically going to be 5 or 6 exercises of some dumbbell workouts taxing multiple planes of motion, and then finish off with some cool shots because, you know, we have a camera, we might as well have some fun,
Yeah,
right?
feel badass,
Perfect.
of course.
So we'll catch you guys on the flip side.